All right, Shalom Israel, giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostle, elder bishops, great millstone, much salutation to the brothers teaching the word, for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, most high will, to the hopeful extended elect, Shalom blessings, man, women, and children. We almost out of here. You know, the days are short, the evil times are here, prophecy is about to pop out off the chain. MOTB is surfacing. World War III is brink. A lot of stuff going on, but you know, this is for you women. You know, I'm old school, so you know, I every now and then you know, listen to old school music. Not every now and then. I listen to old school music every other day, pretty much. But and those things that I've learned in the past and grew up seeing and watching in our culture and being a so-called black man and and coming from those same threads and surroundings and all that. And I wanted to do a video too that about the culture, about black culture, and I usually love black culture, man. I use it like hip hop, R&B, jazz, funk. I usually love it. I'm a music lover too, like a lot of brothers are in the truth. And I usually remember, the black clothing lines and, black magazines and all that. And I was into all that, man. Graffiti, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, South, and those my days were pretty much when a heavy influence was in the 90s, 80s to 90s. But 70s, I love that music too, man. And how they were in the 70s and natural and all that. And you see a lot of our people today, they miss those days. Every now and then you see some real wild, like, but, I fell in love with the culture, man. Fell in love with hip hop. I was in a rap group at 14 years old. So, and two other dudes, and, one of them was my best friend that brought me in the truth. I told that story. He brought me in the truth when like we was 14, and from that we remained friends even after high school. And like 21, I was 21 or 22. He introduced me to the truth. So I'm a part of that whole thread, as well as all the brothers that grew up in that time. And there's many of us. The church people act like we've never been to the places that they talk about. I mean, like a natural person, regular so-called black, Latino, Native American growing up. They act like we never been to church before. We sat in them churches, man. Many of those churches, and didn't learn shit. So that's why we able to talk a lot of shit about the churches. It ain't like they have a different outcome of their teachings, or they didn't advance in their teachings, so-called whatever. But anyway, just had to just put that in there. First Slacky. I'm thinking of 1 Timothy 2:9. And I'm gonna show you a couple of videos from Video Soul, popular network of black artists being interviewed by, who they call an icon now, Donnie Simpson. And just look at how these women act and compare it to how the black woman is today. And the Latino women, but mainly the black woman. She's the head. Judah is the head tribe. So she's going to get it the hardest. She's going to get called out by the Spirit the most, because she's the head tribe of all the tribes of Israel, which is 12 tribes in total. But you know, and when we talk about so-called black women, we it's Judah is one tribe, but we kind of hint at the Jamaicans and Haitians too, because they are part of that same southern sect of Jews. But when the Haitians come here into America, they get with Judah. When when the Jamaicans come to America, they get with Judah. It shows in the music and everything. So they, in the spirit, it already shows that, and it gives that Judah is the head tribe. But First Timothy 2:9, and in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Because they took a liking to that and they got proud with that. Let me get a shamefacedness right quick. Because modest apparel, wearing dresses, wearing ladylike, woman-like clothing. So you go to shamefacedness. And I'm just showing this example because this is the closest I can explain, or, that, as far as, because our women, they model themselves after celebrities. Now the celebrities, they model themselves after a young black girl. It's usually Cardi B, Suki Hana, and all them, Sexy Red, and all them, they witches and shit, and Jezebels. So on the flip side, within the music and iconic world of artists and all that, I'm gonna show something from Video Soul, where it says, perhaps a sense of shame or honor, modesty, bashfulness, reverence, regard for others, respect. Bashfulness is a key word too. A sense of shame. And like I said, the females I used to have a crush on when it comes to music, a lot of them, because I was into hip hop, so a lot of them were those kind of groups that were of women that were boisterous, like Salt and Pepper and like MC Light and all them, and they had something to prove. Roxanne and Shantae, because it was male dominated, but not so much. The male domination really comes from the elites that got control of the industry, because they had that in the beginning. They don't have to show their faces, and they really never do. But they symbolize, make sure it's symbolized in the videos, make sure it's hinted at in the videos, but nobody really catches it. It says bashfulness towards men, right there, because the man is the head, through the ideal downcast eyes, looking down, modesty or towards the Most High, reverence, shamefaced. So it toward the man and toward the Most High, So they'll say they have a good relationship with God and they serve God, but they don't have a good relationship with their man. They don't serve their man. Now here's the women I'm talking about. Now look how feminine these women are, and they're beautiful women. They could be considered light-skinned women, but they ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now. The beauty, like I said, I've always said it's beautiful dark-skinned women. It's a lot of beautiful dark-skinned women. Coco Jones, she's a pretty dark-skinned woman. The one that played in Tales from the Bronx, I think, a Bronx Tale, I think. I forget her name. I forget her name, but she's pretty. But they got facial surgery, and some of them have altered their looks, but it's just a complex that a lot of them have. But here's the first one right here. This is Pebbles. She was an artist, pretty woman, and she was driven. Her mind was driven to accomplish great things as a writer, producer, coexisting with other producers and having really a good foot in to do those things, as well as sing and produce groups like TLC. She actually founded TLC, so a big popular group, platinum selling groups, R&B group. But anyway,
Pebbles.
Hi.
Hey, baby. How you doing?
Long time no see, about a month.
Yeah, about a month. Yeah, in Atlanta last time I was there.
Yeah.
How's everything going for you?
Beautifully. As you can tell, the single is doing good. The album is, I love it.
You must be happy with it.
I am.
I mean, it is a fabulous album.
I am. I don't think that I could have asked for more. The producers, we all know are great. I don't think I could have asked for more.
Well, you got to feel that way, especially, I mean, you would feel that way regardless of the fact that your husband is one of the producers.
Now, Donnie, I didn't know we were going to talk about that.
Well, you have to talk. I mean,
see how she looks down when she laughs? That's bashfulness right there. And she got a husband in the industry, but she's, like I said, she's an icon herself. She's an artist. And, the music is a big machine, and it's led pretty much dominated by men. But, today is still, but look at the ratchetness that's happening. But, she kind of have a Halle Berry look, and she's pretty as hell. And the way she just carries herself, presents herself, you know what I'm saying? It's totally different from the way, and she got a dress on, and it's kind of short. A dress should be longer to where basically almost down to a woman's feet.
Size, bad size, would have a lot of funny stuff. It just really is. I can't say. I keep wanting to say it, but I'm not saying. It's just a lot of fun stuff has happened between all of us. So it's
Well, you got to tell us about one memorable time.
Okay, so you can still be a serious woman and still be feminine as hell, man. Here's the other one. A pretty woman as well.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look great.
Oh, thank
You
you.
look wonderful. I mean, here and in the video. You know how to work them eyes, don't you?
Well, I liked a lot of the people from the past.
See how she they keep looking down?
And they worked their eyes.
That's why I said, it said when I looked it up, it said downcast eyes.
Dandridge and Josephine Baker and Marilyn Monroe.
Soft spoken.
The stars from long ago. They knew when the camera was right on their face, so they
Natural hair.
worked their eyes.
So do you watch old movies? You into
A
that?
lot, all the time.
Oh, really? What's your favorite movie of all time? Or can you name just one?
Dress
Oh,
on.
it's a hard one.
Could be longer.
It depends, there are different ones for comedy and for drama. I just saw Adam's Rib with my sister, and that was great with Katharine Hepburn. That was a good one.
What about your favorite movie for working one's eyes?
My favorite eye movie.
You don't have to answer that. It's a pretty silly question.
Yeah, because I don't know.
See, looking down again. Now, I know it's hard and rough. It's gotten hard and rough, and,
I like what they're saying.
and women
I
kind of
really
have to balance themselves even with that. I mean, a lot of men have become feminine. A lot of men, even in the 90s, were kind of, not, it's a lot of them that wasn't taught and trained how to grow up to be a man. We understand that. But, if you pose yourself as a woman and a decent woman, a man will follow. And we're not supposed to follow women, but we pursue women. We when we want a woman, we want to get a woman. We want to, and it could be a particular woman. We like, damn, I got to get the number. I got to get, So you attract what you put out. You wear horism. You give out that vibration. You're gonna get those kind of dudes. Definitely. If a woman is modest apparel and she got a dress down to her feet and her hair covered, you're not gonna attract too many of the dudes. And you gonna get a Mike. You're gonna get thugs and gangsters and street dudes like, hey baby, what's up? Like, but it's how you respond. And you be like, no, I'm you're not into that, or you're good. And if a man continues to sue you, and he'll know what he got to do to get you. He be like, damn, there's something wrong with me, man. I got to change up or something. When he knows you're a decent woman, and I'm not saying we alter ourselves for women, but our women are a reflection of us. So and it does say when you get married, you become one flesh. So representation. You take a woman out and she look a certain way, it represents who you are. So definitely a man think about it like, damn, if I want that kind of woman, I'm gonna have to level up and that kind of man that she wants. A lot of that is based on superficial things and money, and a lot of these kind of women, like they become, a rich man comes and get them, or they become singers and they get out of the hood, they get out of these neighborhoods. So you really don't see like, them types every day. But, we talking about the spirit and the aura of what they're giving.
My sister and I kind of refer to them as like our musical Bible. I like every song on the album.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really into them.
I mean, your all-time favorite, you said.
Yeah. I didn't really buy a lot of music this past year, but there are really two records I listen to a lot. Arrested Development and Natalie Cole. I know it's kind of like...
She got, that. I'm just saying, that's what men would want or prefer over, I'm pretty sure. But, these women are not really available, or not really, I guess, how would you say it, public like this. Like they're the ones that twerk and all that. And, you imagine your woman, she's going to a party, a public party or something, and she's on the car twerking and shit. You be like, damn, that ain't my woman no more. Or I didn't know you was about like that. And women tend to think a man is kind of like shy or scared to deal with a woman like that. Nah, we ain't. Speaking for myself, and I'm pretty sure other brothers too, we don't want women like that. We want virgins. And how go back and track and go back to your own family as a woman and see it when women got pregnant. It's usually around 14 or 15. Now these days it's not so common because women, they ain't having babies like they used to. A lot of them are lesbians, a lot of them saving themselves, so to speak, or they just hate men and they don't want to deal with no men. They just want to they want to be left alone completely, like by everybody, the women and the men. So it's a lot of that going on. But yeah, this is probably close as you can get to to a woman like this these days. And it kind of says that it really is like a fairy tale and shit. Because the average black woman today is angry, fed up, proud, boisterous, think like a man, like the movie. And you like, shit, So y'all bagging on us for like wanting younger women and even older women that, got their mind right to where they, at least like they know how the deal is out there. They know, like, damn, I need to stop tripping myself. I need to really, examine myself, and then, and a lot of them are cool like with that, where they don't really meet men and date men. They didn't have kids and all that. So I'm just saying, man, I don't think it's no just deep rooted hatred shit like we, like, what I'm saying, like we some monsters or something, man. No, we're trying to look for the best spirited woman. And we changed our ways to the best of our ability, and we expect no less from a woman. And we know that scripture, women, you could persuade a woman and come in, and vice versa, a woman could persuade a man. But it has to be in the like mind of what your man is and what your woman is bringing you to, because a woman is bringing you into something. She has a church, and the true church is Israelites, for a start. But, you got different camps out there, and, teaching different things. So, of course, we with GMS. So, if you a woman that like the men of GMS, you have to abide according to how the body is and how the church is, and subject yourself. But this is just, example of modesty, like I said, looking down, like it said, looking down.
That's what I listen to the most.
That is so interesting. I mean, I like Arrested Development too. I'm just shocked that, usually you ask someone your favorite artist, especially of all time.
Well,
usually get
right.
Marvin Gaye or...
Oh.
No.
Well, of all time in life?
No, when I asked you the question, I was asking about now, but you said my favorite artist of all time.
Oh, I mean of all time.
Right
this
now.
time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now time.
Oh, okay. Well, what about of all time?
Probably Shaka Khan. Yeah.
Why? Any particular reason?
Although now,
Yeah. So, and women, women's supposed to be pretty. Y'all already know. That's why y'all have mirrors and shit. Y'all supposed to, you want your body right. You want you take care, us, we, it's just not so demanded, on that level. But we do take care of ourselves. We do pay our bills, maintain, try to keep ourselves right. And but women, they the pretty ones, and they, so we don't get offended if women call us ugly. I don't. I'll be like, shit, I'm a man. What the fuck? You supposed to be the pretty one. What's your excuse? Looking like a damn, chimpanzee. Nah, I ain't gonna even go there. But I'm being humorous, man. But it ain't we are our people, man. We just represent the Most High in the way He wants us to be represented to our best ability. And our people got a problem with that. Anyway, Shalom, who is edifying?